Good afternoon, Netvo Nation. Brian Oldorf here, Director of Partner Development. And as always, just thank you so much for your time and participation. We welcome you here as part of our family. Today is demo day. We're going to be talking just briefly a little bit about Netphone, a little bit about Contact Center, where we position, where we win, but show you the tools that we have in our arsenal that can help you, help your customers on the call, as this isn't that traditional format for those of you new here. We do have an interaction ability, and we use the chat functionality as on here, helping to answer any questions, any needs. I've got Jason Tellis, our senior sales engineer. I've got Jeffrey Cahill, our senior sales engineer, and I also got our contact center specialist, Chris Hamlet here. Again, as an introduction, as a way to get into the Net2Phone culture here, help your customers, help vet your opportunities, help through the presentation process. This is all about Net2Phone and us standing right next to you. And again, thank you for your time. Happy holidays goes out to everybody. With that, let's get started. Again, I'm just going to briefly overview for those that are brand new to Net2Phone, but I am moving this to the demo process. But please be familiar, get familiar, ask questions, and we will answer those as they come through. So thank you, everybody, again, and let's get started. Just in case you do need to get in touch with me, I am here to help with your opportunities. I'm here to get you successful tools for initial onboardings. I hand you over to our day-to-day resources, very typically in region channel manager team. As an overlay, I'm here to assist all their efforts, presentation, even up to an escalation need. If you need to get in touch with me, please reach out. Of course, here at Net2Phone, we have the best pre-sales team, the best pre-sales engineers in the business. Again, here to help your pre-sales needs, your quoting needs. Of course, our channel team members, myself, engineers can help with their quotes. But again, we have a pre-sales quote team that turns those around very quickly. And of course, as it gets within these high level or complicated or add-on sales, we want to have a team, again, standing next to an expert team, helping you answer those questions and position you to win. I also just want to leave this slide up here as for those of you joining the webinar portion. This is our senior channel team member here at Net2Phone in region, pushing and pulling each and every day. Again, if you want help with any kind of Net2Phone information, positioning, any kind of technical wants within your area of needs, if you want to do like education seminars or even fun or any kind of branding of marketing specifics, just to help reach out to these team members, help yourself. And also, if you want, I can personally introduce yourself in and overview and overlay the process as well. So let's get started with Net2Phone. Again, for those just new to Net2Phone, we often say here we're the largest company you've ever heard of, and we're okay with that. We feel we have, as to know Net2Phone, we've done it the right way from the ground up, earned every customer. Our product, our positioning is all around us. We don't have that third-party entrance. We don't have, a reactive bought-in strategy that isn't our own, that we now have no control over. You have no control over. Our solution is directly as a result from the partners and the needs of the customers. What we hear is what we bring to the table. And we have this tremendous history, just 30 years of communication innovation. And just ask your other suppliers, what do they look like as far as history, longevity, and being in that field face-to-face with customers? Here's us. And we have this tremendous focus as well. We don't do 30 different things that you painfully have to figure out. The focus helps us. We're hosted, we're SIP, we're contact center, we're AI, and with a team's emphasis, with an integration emphasis along the way. And I kind of just note an analog replacement strategy for those typical needs. As we see analog lines going up and up or services being disconnected, we can provide an analog replacement strategy for those types of customer needs. Of course, flexible pricing. We'll get detailed into this as regards to contact center and how we can come in and win those traditional and non-traditional types, compete heavily in those types of environments. And even with an international twist and flavor here, like no other provider. We also emphasize it, and there's a word out there, enterprise, and we'll fit into that. But we talk about carrier grade global network positioning. There's other regional carriers that emphasize their plays and their little unique niches and stuff like this. But at the end of the day, they have a single point access in region data pop that their calls go into for low latency and great, great communications. But in times of trouble, even power outages, weather, an overzealous backhoe, that could be a vital spot at that single access point. Here sits net2phone, multi-access, intelligent look-ahead routing, exactly what hosted voice wants and needs to be successful.
Hey, Brian, if you're here, we can't see them.
My slides? Oh, shoot. Okay. Let me reshare my screen. Thank you for pointing that out. And I'm only on 0.2, so that's perfect. Let's see if that reworks. Now I relaunched it. So thank you. Did that help?
Yes, can see them now.
All right. So I'll just put this up there real quickly, go backwards, go forward. This is really the only slide we really missed here for your in-region team members. Please just take a quick note if you want as we continue our conversation. But as I was emphasizing, a soft landing spot. And it's so often we hear about many suppliers and their stories and their positioning, credit card capture day one, billing before the customer goes live, the stress of getting it in, porting without being ready to port. Your 30-day guarantee is up because when you sign, you paid and you're into that solution now. You can't unstick it. Here at net2phone, it's the exact opposite. That high touch, soft landing, a emphasis on net2phone personnel supporting our solution 24/7. What's another the trend that's happening out there in the market right now is traditional support starts at 5 o'clock Eastern for many companies. They literally stop the process at 5 o'clock, move it over to a knock. What happens to your customers at that point? Your whole Midwest Eastern customers are midday, and they're not able to get a support emphasis, only general, if your solution's down, we can help you type of arrangement. Don't let that happen to you. net2phone, truly net2phone employees working net2phone solutions, 25-second mean time to answer, 95% first call resolution. That's what your customers are looking for in a solution set. So as I continue now sharing the screens, again, we have some great web-based quote tools for pricing. We have an ability to mark up. We don't strategically put our pricing out there so you, the partner, can actually name your price on deals. If you're an MSP, you love that because you can now layer in a support element and not have to, bill each time. If you're a partner that wants to do technical support, you can layer in, again, a pricing element that gets you paid without having to bill each time. Or you're simply a partner that wants to spend the time, or you have referral agents and you want to max incent them. Here's a great way for net2phone to stand next to you. Of course, industry living spiffs and residual commissions. That is something, simple sounds simple enough, but what did we see recently over the last 6 months in trending in the market is many known suppliers are actually pulling back their commitments. They're pulling back their payouts. What alarm is that sending out there? Is that saying we're going to, again, pay in a different direction for different types of what's going on? What is going to happen out there when you see these pullbacks? It's exactly opposite here at net2phone. We are leading in. In fact, we have a promotion right now that max incented our contact center position. We went kind of all in with that. So we went the different direction. Being strong and financially stable helps us. Again, here today, here tomorrow, that tremendous history. And really my last talking point, my favorite talking point, and especially as it relates to contact center, I know partners right now that are actually going through this, that they've got a relationship, they've been working it, they've been managing accounts, they've been handling with their problems, and now it's time for the new solution to come into play. They're excited. You're excited. Why wouldn't you be? And what ultimately happens? You go to say, I want to assign this or register this deal, and you get told that you can't work this one. It's being a direct agent sold this, or a partner sold one site with a demo kit 4 years ago, and now they're in line to get paid for your work. It is happening out there. There's a saying as well: the larger the deal, the harder it is to get approval. You got direct reps coming into your sale now and having to team integrate, and that's a square peg round hole. Exactly 100% the opposite. Net2Phone employees, Net2Phone team members, they work for you. And as it is, the relationship wins here at Net2Phone. Huge talking point. Again, as I made mention, any kind of marketing resources or needs, let us align and let us help you there as well. Just as we continue on, a global carrier grade, intelligent, this is exactly what hosted voice wants, and it's really what no other, there's not a network architecture and topology that can match another hosted supplier out there that can match this carrier grade global network positioning. Talk to us about our free calling solutions when it comes to hosted in teams and such like this from an international region. Of course, in our position again with our contact center and such, our support and emphasis is going to be shown here in our demo, but just a network topology unlike any other provider, a global position, ask the international question with Net2Phone, and recognize, again, complete solution offerings that we can provide. Of course, it's just to work with all types of logos, arrangements, and such like this, down to a very small. Again, other suppliers are saying we don't work this sizing, especially as it relates to contact center. Their pricing doesn't relate to that as well, and that's great when they accept that. Again, we go down to that very small transaction set. We emphasize that non-traditional element here at Net2Phone. We look at government, education, nonprofit. That's come up recently over and over again, probably with the needs to fund here before the end of the year. Here we sit able to help and assist, not only nationally with those all types of conversations, but internationally as well. So as I now shift and emphasize our positioning specific, as we want to really, again, show you and introduce our contact center. It's our latest offerings here that we are bringing to the table. And to know Net2Phone prior, before we released our own branded, our own solution with our uContact contact center, we had a reselling arrangement. So many suppliers are out there actively doing that right now to continue that end-to-end story as far as, not even hosted and then moving into AI, moving into contact center. But that's a drop off right there. As we've come from that arrangement in the past, we know it. There's a necessary need to now bring in a brand new team into this. Where do we end? Where do they start? Where does the pricing? Why does it get so expensive? Because there's multiple hands in here needing to get paid for their efforts and such like this. The customer doesn't know who to call. It's real out there. Don't, again, let that happen to you. Talk to providers, talk to solution sets that have that true end-to-end ownership and have that advantage, again, and not having to hand it over to some third-party solution. So as specific as it gets to contact centers, as I kind of alluded to already, we talk about the being able to reach. I can't really come in here and talk how we can win in these small and these mediums and these traditional type environments without having a great story to tell. And it, again, that traditional, contact center, we all think about, couple hundred people in a seat, wall boards, 5 different managers actively looking at their campaigns and queues positions, real time. We can check that box, yes, sir, and we'll get in there and we'll work hard for those opportunities. But equally, we can come into non-traditional opportunities as well, being that we have a pricing plan and offering that aligns into these. We talk about ROI into a very small. And what do those look like? Those could look like auto dealerships. Those could look like schools that could need a broadcast solution out. Those could look like heating and air conditioning companies right now that have that service desk. Contact center sits here, and that's your arms and legs as that body goes, that extension, being able to outreach. But the processes and the internal cues and the workflows, the spine of the body here, and where those all route to and go, that's where the success lies. And again, that's where we can have a great position in with our existing contact centers is new emerging types of contact centers. When we talk about reliability, we talk about positioning our capability in the Google Cloud, one of the most reliable places to be position wise, for your customers. Super important that solution is going to work, operate, and have some redundancy and reliability aspects to it. We're there for that. And often in our demos and presentations, it's very common we get the ability to scale. We want to have an agent here today, here tomorrow. We want to turn them up very quickly. We want to, again, being able to have, design types of campaigns ready to go where we just insert the agent into these pre-built campaign types. We check all those boxes right there. That importance of having that ability to place an agent anywhere. We can't really get into those small, remote, here, there, flexibility types if we don't have that type of arrangement. And it's exactly what the customers are asking for. It's exactly what we can deliver with an agent anywhere and turn them around very quickly. An improved customer experience is an improved employee experience, and it might work the other way. Improved employee experience will emphasize an improved customer experience, and that's what we talk about. We find the pain points. We understand what is a current solution, new needs. Let's understand what's going on. Let's understand where the pain is. What do we want to improve? And let's hit those points. We understand that's a revolving experience there. And if we can use automation, we can improve where employees align. The best employees are hitting the best positions. Those are going to be wins for the customer and the company. The ability to integrate into CRMs is just, again, a natural must-haves within the contact center solutions. That ability to extract, the ability to outreach is so important, again, in those non-traditional environments. A great example of this is our Salesforce and our Zoho integrations, our dedication to that, where customers come to us again and they want to integrate within that Salesforce environment. This is the tool they're using, and they don't want to learn anything new. With that native integration into these types of environments, we're in the Salesforce position. We're staying in there within our contact relationship. It's just a must-have, must-want within those traditional type of roles and environments. Agent supervisor combination license. When we talk about scalability, we talk about being able to come into all types of environments. What typically is our experience when it comes to supervisor dongles or keys? And those are typically twice as much. Those are typically, assigned roles and pay for that type of assignment. Well, at Net2Phone, we have an agent supervisor combination license. And what that means is that we don't have that twice as much supervisor key. We don't make it hard for that customer. They want more supervisors, but they weren't willing to pay for it. So they suffer in a sense from that. Here at Net2Phone, one license gets you all the way up to the top supervisor needs, or again, structured in a manner all the way down to the agent in the typical campaigns. So no need to have to purchase that twice as much. So again, that wins in those non-traditional environments where there isn't there's a high need for supervision, but there aren't that dedication from a supervisor's position to sit there all day and just do this. That flexibility is key. Concurrent active license structure, again, another position win with our uContact. Ownership has its privileges, and having an active license structure means that we can be very flexible with the setup and the rotations and such like this. As other suppliers, they're charging you for each and every agent ID and twice as much for the supervisor keys. But at Net2Phone, we don't charge you for those agent IDs. Again, you could have campaigns set up already branded for each and every one. For a new employee waiting, we just, again, position these right into these pre-built, because we're not charging the customer for all that licensing. We're allowing them to have multiple agents. And again, that works great for shifts and such, where we're 24/7 operating. And again, we have to have so many agent IDs, but at any given time, only a third of these are actively participating. And that's what we're charging for. That's the big differentiating here. We're not charging you for each and every agent ID. We're charging you for concurrent active needs and licensing within the contact center. So again, I could have 100 agent IDs and our pre-built flexibility ready to go to get these agents turned up very quickly. But I'm only charging the customer for how many agents they need active within their contact center at any given time. That is a huge position win here at net2phone. Of course, we have a professional install process. That is a big differentiator with unlimited free support. Of course, customers can do their own reports or customization. They can do their own workflows if they want with our solution. A lot of times those are locked out from other providers. They won't let you do that. You got to call support in order to get that. And what happens there? They only have a certain amount of support allowance or timing, and they start getting those overages again. And that's a big, just a positioning difference. I can't really get into those, those new type of market positions without that type of ability here within the professional service and that free standard support. Again, this isn't a supervisor doing just supervisor all day long. They don't know that contact center as well. They rely on us to help them, and we can check that box. Specifically, when it comes to uContact and our uContact solution set, we talk about all types of positioning. Of course, call, but we talk about chat, video, text, email, application. We talk about automation. What's the number one expense in any customer environment? It's the employee. And if your employees are sitting there doing traditional, let me get your balance for you, let me send this form out to you, I know that employee's not happy doing that. That's not a win for them, and that can resonate on over to that customer experience. So why not we look to, as we position this and we look at that ROI, and we now position automation where it makes sense, where that customer can get their information immediately without having to interact with humans. But yet, when that essential need arises through all types of media types, within any of these, we can align that expert employee into that expert campaign, and that employee's only answering the really essential needs. That is going to be, again, a company win, where that automation takes some of that offload off to them. Make a payment, check a payment, get a alert, all those, get a form, those kind of things. There isn't a necessary human need for that. So let's get those into those non-traditional and traditional type positioning. We talk about a dialer aspect. Again, I can't really go and sell you all on how we can win in a non-traditional environment without having a plan in place. And that plan in place may look like, yes, we understand we're going to help you with your workflows and your queues on the back end. That's a great benefit of a contact center solution. But let's talk to you about another position as well. And what's your average sale worth? And how many more sales could we get if we're actively out there positioning and broadcasting our new solutions, broadcasting the needs? I got a great example of this is, you look at an auto dealership, what's their number one most profitable position in an auto dealership? And that's a manufacturer recall. That's when they can charge per the book to the manufacturer what it does or what it costs to do this recall. And how important would that be for an auto dealership to be able to be able to reach into their integration capability in their CRM and extract all the Subarus, 19 or 2000 Subarus, and being able to now to go out and broadcast and say, simply here, we're letting you know, you can set up an appointment right through here. They do that without even a human interaction, but they're first to market and they're capturing. This is an example of being able to outreach into and justify further the contact center. The cake's there with the routing aspect. Now here comes the icing. Let's profit from our position. Let's earn sales. Let's win new customers in part, being able to outreach. Of course, all the traditionals are there. The ACD wants the needs within our uContact. Again, skills-based routing, callbacks, queue position, those are the most important things. Checking those boxes. The auto attendance, being able to recognizable speech, being able to record the calls and listening to those is something, again, super important for dispute resolution or improvements within the contact center. And as I made mention and alluded to earlier, being able to bring in automation and again, save that human element. How do we justify? Well, we position the human campaigns into the most needed positions. We use automation in to handle now those routine aspects. So we're running at this max efficiency and deliverables with our help and assistance. From a uContact and agent supervisor position, some takeaways there is a real-time dashboard analysis. Again, being able to, as an agent, and I'm sitting in multiple campaigns, I'm answering recalls here, I'm answering new sales here, I'm a backup for support here. But being able now in a single screen environment to see exactly what I'm entered into, exactly what I am impacting, that's a difference. For other providers, that's another screen to be in this queue or this campaign. That's another screen to be in this campaign. And again, the difference, that's a major difference, because what happens if I didn't click over there today? What happens if I didn't look in a timely manner? That's going to skew the KPIs. That's going to, again, hurt that customer experience. But if I can present everything to the supervisor that they wish and need, and everything real time to that agent right there in front of them, one screen, one click away, that's going to be a win. Being able to monitor whisper barge, again, as I made alluded to earlier, being able to ensure that we're doing our due diligence on the back end. And again, improving our relationships and our conversations. We even have a gamification element where competitively we want to make it fun. Internally, we want to reward. And that's going to, again, incent that everyday environment here and improve that customer experience. We talk about the ability to reports and alerts, 250 out of the box reports. Of course, those can be customized. We talk about a work and a management key aspect that essentially is saying, what do we want to hit? What are our desires? And again, we're watching within those campaigns and making sure we're at optimization levels. Just all around emphasis on traditional and non-traditional environment entrance. When it comes to pricing and plans, as I already gave a little bit away on that, but being able to, have that single license structure, either an agent or supervisor within our licensing, huge win. A concurrent license structure, again, a huge win. I can come into a very small, and we look at a 10-seat minimum here at Net2Phone traditionally. Again, that can be easily removed. But walking into an everyday air conditioning company or a heating company right now and asking or knowing their experiences, I was on hold forever. I called emergency after hours. I got nothing. Being able, again, to address those workflows and handle those call flows and having queues designed to route and get them to the right people, that's a win. But what about now, again, the added element of being able to outreach as well, having this solution working for you 24/7, coming into a 5-seat opportunity at $60, and we need to justify a $300 monthly in an ROI. Are you going to talk to any of these major known contact centers and tell them you got a $300 opportunity? They're going to look at you like they've never heard of you before. This is exactly where we can come in and win. Again, and what's your average sale worth, Mr. and Mrs. Customer? And if it's, $75, and if I can now generate 5 new business opportunities to not only justify initially, but to win on the back end, let's talk here at Net2Phone. We have 2-seat licenses as it goes, a base voice seat, making it very easy to transact and work with us. all the routing aspects of the needs from the ACD and the traditional ACD conversations. Again, being able to introduce dialers into a position. Another example of that, a school district. What do they need right now? They need an emergency broadcast system. And employees, they need an emergency broadcast system to outreach in case there's a breach or something like this, or a security aspect within that school district. Has anybody priced one of those out lately? What those outreach solution sets are? They're multiple thousands and thousands of dollars, and based on how many you need. Well, here sits Net2Phone. We have an outreach program inherently built into our base license. We could do this for a very, very small, that non-traditional position. We got you covered. If we need if we want to look at that added extra of being able now to introduce our automation, being able to have, if this do this type of intelligence at that automation, level, being able to provide customers immediate access to immediate needs and saving those humans, then we talk about our full Omni seat where we can bring in that automation, and now we can enter into any type of application really out there, all types of environments and campaigns we can work within. Talk to us about our seat positioning and licensing. Again, very small amount needs for those non-traditionals, very small entrance into our setups and such like this. That's twice as much with other providers. Again, being able to get into the ground levels of customers and their needs. And of course, if they need any kind of custom development, we are here for that as in part. But as we emphasize, employees can do their own workflows, work queues in here. We don't have mandates here at Net2Phone. So what I'm going to shift to now is, as we just discovered a little bit about uContact, we're going to also talk about one of our latest releases here, our AI tool, our interactive intelligence tool. And this is something that can be layered onto our contact center as just a complete solution set. You have our hosted for the reliability of the calls and the everyday needs. We talk about our contact centers for when and those, inbound and outbound reaches. And now we can layer in a tool with our interactive intelligence AI solution. This can also be standalone. It can be a stopgap positioning as well for a customer, that smaller customer that's, wants to uncover what's going on and wants to understand what their customers are wanting and need, but they're not ready for that contact center experience. They just don't have the positioning, the people in place, the logins and the setups like this. Then there's a tool here that they could put in. Our AI tool, we can layer into that traditional uContact cell, even to another provider's uContact. We can layer this tool over top. You have something to walk into, even if they bought somebody else just a month ago. You have a tool here that you can walk in and talk. And what I know about AI, I can throw some statistics at you, is there's, the ones that I've learned, there's 30 million businesses out there. And in part of study that the U.S. Small Business did is, of those 30 million businesses, 20 million of 76% are going to invest in some type of AI over the next couple of years. Let's get out in front of this. Let's start talking about this. If you're unaware or need more information, our engineers are sitting here waiting. There's AI videos we have out there now that you can introduce and such like this as well. But what is AI in a nutshell? It's that machine learning element. It's getting smarter, speedier decisions than the normal human can make, and understanding what's happening, being able to take the blinders off of the organization, improving the efficiency and product levels. And there's another study that like 91% of businesses that do implement AI see a benefit from it. And that's just a great takeaways. And the last one I'll throw out there is of the study, and that was for Gartner, is that when it comes to the monitoring of contact centers, and when we hear that your calls are going to be monitored, recording, that the statistic goes that 3% of those calls that are actually, when you hear monitored or recorded, are actually monitored and listened to. 3%. And there's a reason why. Is again because that non-traditional contact center, they don't have the people in place to do that. Even in that traditional environment, being able to listen to every call, that's going to just break a supervisor right there. But again, that time element of being able to do that. Well, if I can bring into a way that we can uncover what's happening in every call and only takes a moment, then again, the customer is going to win and the company is going to win. We can understand now with this AI tool, once we place it, what the customer and again, that employee behaviors is, what they're talking about, what they're upset most about, what they're happy most about. And finally, a great takeaway is the differentiated awareness. Again, I can't really cost justify this if I can't bring in something new to the table and being able to understand uh, from these conversations what is repeatedly being asked for. Maybe it's a brand new product that we've thought about, but we never brought into it. As an auto dealership, we keep getting these requests for a detail. Do you guys do detail while my car's waiting or something? Again, we didn't know about this. We don't know because our service and supply people aren't, our parts people aren't telling us this, but we can now uncover this. It could open up new lines of innovation, new businesses within the company based on what your customers are asking for. So when we look at our solution, and again, we're going to excited here to show you this live here in just a couple of moments, being able to understand the sentiment, the tone, and the analysis that we uncover. We look at both, is it neutral, grayed out? We'll see this in the demo. Be able to download that call recording and get a transcript of the call. Being able to sync with that CRM for key extraction. I could now put in keywords into this, and when they hit, we can extract from this program and the solution. So awareness about what's happening, what our customers are saying, being able to place it anywhere, being able to have multiple login levels from a single aspect, the licensing aspect, must win, must have. The compatibility, as I just made mention, standalone or as part of our contact center or just our standard hosted solution. Being able to take away these interaction insights, a color-coded waveform, a gray, a neutral, a red negative, a green positive, being able to get metrics on each and every call, topics list of each and every call. And as I alluded to, the summary of next step action items, being able to understand what is being said and what is happening next overall in that call, not having to listen to it all, being able to read it in about 5 to 10 seconds of what happened within that call, every call. Huge win. Follow-up email, pre-written. This is something not every supplier can do within their AI tools. As we push this out into the communities, into the big SE teams out there that we all know about, the takeaways are that not everybody does a follow-up email. This is something, an add-on extra or not capable. How nice is that as an agent, being able to have that call and being able to have a position already there of what it was, what happened, what we talked about, and what's coming next, and being able to edit that as well, to match immediately what the need is. Customer and the employee win right there with our AI tool. Pricing wise, again, we make it very easy to price this position. $20 per user per month. We talk about, again, 5 users in a air conditioning company. $100 a month. We're understanding what every call is happening, what our customers are asking for, and again, what their needs are. Most importantly, to improve that experience, to position yourself above the competitor. This is where we're going to win with our AI tool. We're excited to be able to show you. Lastly, what I'm going to do before we move to the demo here portion is being able to talk about a deployment. Again, just an overall deployment process, just ensuring you that we have a position here that says, when we get a contact center offering, here's how we're going to work this. We're going to introduce our teams into this. We're going to, again, understand what their expectations are from the very beginning. We're going to gather the essential needs. We're going to get our engineering team in there to set this up. We're going to write it, implement it, give them the solution, hand it over to them, allow them to work it, understand the workflows and calls and tests, where they're breaking, where it's, again, where it's precisely right. And actually training them before they even go live. How important and critical is that? And again, final testing, and then that live implementation process, and being there, watching it, being able there to support it, handhold it, and then ultimately, again, handing it off fully to that customer. And if they need that unlimited daily support, they can call us. But again, that operational flow through that dedication the product managers, the technical teams that update calls and such like this along the way. Our contact center specialist, Chris Hamlet, getting right into there, hands-on involved into these projects as well. Major win for these non-traditional type and of course traditional type sales. I'm going to move this over to Jason now and let you handle the rest of the way and show us some live tools, Jason.
All right. Thanks, Brian. Appreciate that. So I'm going to share my screen and want to just verify, Brian, that you can see my screen once I switch over there. Just want to verify that.
I got it.
You got it? It's good to go?
Yep.
Okay, great. Okay. Well, I want to welcome everybody on our uContact webinar. I want to thank you for joining. Appreciate just you taking the time out of your day to be a part of this webinar. And as Brian mentioned, definitely, this platform is a complete contact center solution. As you can see, this is an agent interface, so it's web-based. As the supervisor and administrator, it's web-based as well. So those agents working remotely, working from really anywhere, from their homes, from an office, from a desktop, they have that capability of logging in, logging out, supervisory views, definitely being able to see real-time status of that agent, real-time dashboards, and I'll give a real high-level overview of that. But the view that you're viewing today, this is an agent view. This is somewhat of a simple view for an agent, but this can be as simple as possible for that agent. This can be there can be a lot added in for that agent experience as well. But as you can see, there's a WebRTC dialer that's embedded within the interface, so those agents have the ability to not only receive those calls, to make those outbound calls. They can be part of inbound, outbound call dialers. As Brian mentioned, that there's multiple dialers that are included with our voice licenses. So really any functionality, that progressive, that predictive, a broadcast type dialer, a power dialer, definitely that's built into the platform. It's included with the voice license. So, and sometimes there's a lot of questions like, well, if I want an additional dialer or if I need two dialers, are there extra costs to that? And with our licensing structure, it's an all-inclusive solution. So as far as of course, if there's some customization that's needed on the platform, definitely that's a different discussion or an additional discussion. But as far as the functions and features for our voice and also for our Omni licenses, those capabilities are included with those licenses. As you can see, there's a campaign bar that's included on top. So it shows I'm part of a voice campaign as the agent, but I'm also part of a web chat campaign. So those agents can multitask, not only answer calls, but they can also monitor possibly their website. So if somebody's on their website makes an inquiry, they have that capability. And then also there's an email campaign, but then also you can embed social media and text messaging within a campaign as well. So you can have individual agents that are monitoring just that specific campaign, let it be for texting or for the website or for social media, and then have a group of agents just handling voice campaigns as well. So definitely you have that ability to include all, or as we get into the supervisor review, you can quickly add and remove agents. Maybe you need additional resources to cover the website, the web chat campaign. So very easy and scalable. But as you can see, definitely I have that capability as an agent. I have the ability, we do have gamification that's also included within our platform. So some call centers like to have that competitive nature, or agents are trying to reach specific metrics or trying to reach specific KPIs. And they get rewarded for that. Or maybe it's a team effort and they're trying to reach a specific goal during that day or that week. And so there's a game board that's embedded within this as well. So that's something that some call centers love that. They use that. And so it's a real, a great add-on with our platform as well. As you can see, that agent can quickly take a break. They can take a training time, a meeting. So this would give that status notification to that supervisor. Being able to fill out dispositions or other types of forms, possibly during that call if a call is answered and you would like to have that automatic form to pop up. Maybe for a new customer or maybe an existing customer, that data can be added into that form, and then also additional information, maybe like when was the last time this individual called, or possibly even integrating into a CRM or another platform where maybe it provides information about what did they order the last time they called in, what did they order, or what was their last order. So definitely all of that full integration, API integration, iframe integration is definitely something that's capable on this platform. So with that, again, like I said, this is a very high level for, I just wanted to show you that capability and what an agent would experience. But I'm going to shift over to what a supervisor would experience. This is that supervisor view. This is their dashboard. A supervisor can also act as an agent. So if they need to be part of a campaign, they have the ability to make calls. Also, they can be part of a web chat, email campaign. Again, take breaks and change their status as well. The view that you have here is just a quick reference of a high level reference of really information about how many agents I have assigned to me as a supervisor. I have 28. I have 3 that are logged in. How many calls have I had, inbound, outbound, or text messages or emails? So as the more traffic you get, the more graphs that you would have and experience. And again, it's a very high level view, but definitely this could be sufficient enough for that supervisor. But if the need to get more granular, definitely that supervisor has that capability. Real-time dashboards for voice. So this is our demo account, but as you can see, we have a lot of different campaigns that are built in here, but I'll just pick one here. Getting that live real-time information, how many agents are logged in, how many are logged out, how many are on break, or do we have a service level set up as far as maybe we want calls answered every 5 seconds or 15 seconds. Also the ability to view a queue if all the agents are on calls, but calls are starting to stack up. You definitely have that view as well. Going in here and actually whisper monitor Bard. So being able to listen in, coaching, and then also barging into the call. Supervisor has that capability. Even the supervisor has the ability to send instant messages to that agent. So maybe for training, or maybe to maybe you're listening in and you're monitoring, but then you want the agent to remind the customer about a promotion that you have. So definitely having that capability. And then being able to log agents in and out and change their status as well. So having that full capability. And that's for voice, but when we get into the Omni, when we get into texting, email, social media, web chat. So also a supervisor has that ability to monitor that as well. So for instance, here's an email campaign. So having that ability to view your service levels, or are there any emails in the queue that haven't been attended to yet? But then also checking your agent status for that as well. How many are logged? How many agents are assigned? As you can see, there's 2 agents assigned to this email campaign, and how many are logged in. And as you can see, on my agent, the agent is logged in, and then also as a supervisor, I'm logged in. So you definitely have that capability of viewing those stats and that information in real time. I think that's really important. That's a big ask for a lot of call centers as well. I'm going to move down here. Being able to also, again, this is the Omni, so being able to view your web chat campaigns. So we could quickly go here as well. So you have a wide range of data that's available in real time. Also, we have 250 plus canned reports that are embedded within this platform as well. So being able to pull those reports, and I'll show you that here in just a few moments. I wanted to just go up to the administrator, being able to manage all your agents, being able to create new agents, and then also assigning, let it be supervisors or maybe agents that are more in a supervisory position. So providing security groups and roles. So maybe there's certain supervisors that you want to have specific types of reports. You want them to have access to that, but then some reports you don't. So you can definitely set those security roles and privileges for those specific supervisors and agents. Managing and building your campaigns. So as the admin, you have the ability to create those voice campaigns, web chat, texting, email. So again, I'd like to emphasize the customer has full access and management to the platform. So we have a portal, a training portal for our customers. We have training that's available. So if a customer would like to manage this platform themselves, they definitely can. And we give them the keys to the platform so that they can do that and be self-sufficient. But also we have a professional services team that's available. So with any maybe complex integrations or customization, or if there's any types of questions or support that they need, we definitely have a uContact professional services team that's available for our customers. And then also we have a full engineering staff that's available for that real high or for that real deep integration needs or customization that may be needed. Let's see here. I'm just going to go through here. I'm going to scroll back down here and just, as you can see, recordings, call recordings, Omni recordings, let it be for text message or web chat, are available, are stored within the platform as well. So having the need, maybe there's some recordings that need to be pulled from last month or a specific date or a specific time period. As you can see, these are all call recordings that are stored. These are downloadable. A supervisor can listen to those. They can grade those. So definitely this is something that's embedded and available within the platform. But also, this is what I like. All of the Omni interactions are also recorded and saved on the platform as well. So, you know, we find a lot of, especially in the financial industry, a lot of institutions need to be able to pull those records if audited. And so being able to have this available for those types of industries, I think is a great benefit for those companies. Being able to go back a year and pull those records, or if they're audited, they need a specific time period of those calls or those interactions, they can pull that for the entity or that regulatory entity as well. Call reporting, definitely, as I mentioned, 250 plus canned reports, different file formats for those reports. Being able to schedule reports. So maybe you want specific supervisors or leads or even the admin to receive reports at 8 a.m. every day or once a week or once a month. So being able to automate those reports as well via email. So definitely having that capability as well. I know we're getting a little short on time. And again, I mentioned this would be a very high level of our platform. This is a full contact center solution. And I'm going to shift over to our AI, but I just want to mention that if you would like a deeper dive, if you would like to have a more in-depth conversation about uContact in our solutions and functions and features, please reach out to your net-to-phone channel manager, and we would be more than happy to have that conversation and just go deeper into the platform and its capabilities. Chris Hamlet, definitely, he's a great resource. I believe he posted his email, his contact information on the chat. I would definitely save that. Definitely use that. That's what Chris is. That's what he's here for, is to really be that subject matter expert for uContact and for net2phone's contact center solution. So he's a great resource. He has years of experience within contact centers. So please take advantage of that email and send them any inquiries or questions that you may have. So I'm going to shift over to net2phone's Sentiment AI. So this is a great solution that allows a customer to really understand and know and feel of what their customer is experiencing. How do they feel? How are their agents or their users? How are they doing? How are the conversations going? Is the user or the agent having a good experience? Or is the customer having a good experience? Because a lot of times supervisors or business owners or whoever it may be, they honestly don't have the time to sit on and listen in on calls most of the day. So this is where the sentiment AI can actually do the work for a supervisor, and a supervisor has a capability of going in and grading and listening and seeing that, how are our users or agents doing. And the reason I say users is because this our sentiment AI can integrate with Net2Phone's UCAS, so our hosted business communications platform, but also this integrates with our contact center platform. So it can be used on both platforms, which, there's some customers where they have our UCAS solution, but they have maybe a small call center or customer service department, or they want to make, maybe in sales, they want to grade those calls. And this is just another added tool for that. But as you can see, I'll jump right into there. But what this does is this listens, transcribes, and evaluates the call. So it evaluates in the method of, is this a positive, neutral, or negative call? Or what parts of the call are more negative versus positive? So as you can see, the red areas are providing more of a negative a tone, or specific words are being said where the AI is picking up that this could be an area where the customer may not be happy, or they're saying specific words that like, I don't like, or I'm not happy. So picking up those words, but then also the green area, that's more positive. So also, as I mentioned, it transcribes the call, so you can read through it. It grades it. As you can see, the darker area here is more neutral. Green is positive, but now we're hitting more of a negative area. So definitely being able to go through that, being able to download this audio file, download the text transcription on that as well. But then on top of that, it also grades the call. So it's listening. How much did the agent overtalk the customer? That could be a way to evaluate. Well, the customer seems like they're always upset. Well, maybe because the agent has overtalked or interrupted the customer multiple times during the call. So this is a great way, to coach your agents, coach users to be a little bit more patient, or maybe listen more instead of talk too much. So also it grades the sentiment. So also, as you can see, it evaluates and advises how much of the call was neutral, positive, and negative. So being able to have those ratios that are available for that supervisor. And then also it brings up topics. Maybe the topic was mainly about billing, or maybe it was about a specific product. So this gives you, as an organization, well, they keep mentioning this specific product, but we don't sell it. So maybe it's something that we need to look at as far as providing that type of service or that product. And as Brian mentioned as well, the follow-up email. So this is great because this evaluates the call and creates a follow-up email for that agent, which they can copy and paste. They can make changes to that email, but most importantly, it saves time. Let it be, not only maybe it takes 6 minutes for a wrap-up time to write up an email, but with the sentiment AI, it takes 30 seconds. So throughout a day, maybe the agent is saving an hour of productivity. But then also, sometimes I'm guilty of it. I'll go back maybe a few hours later and write that email, and then I'm trying to remember what the conversation was about. So this is also a great way to come back and copy and paste and send that email as well. So with that, right on the dot, I want to thank everybody for joining. And if you have any questions, definitely reach out to Brian, myself, or your channel manager. And I want to wish everybody a great, happy holidays.
Thank you all. Have a great holiday.